Hello and welcome to World Talks on TVP World with me, Ashim Kumar. Belarus has released more than 120 political prisoners, including a Nobel Peace Prize laureate Aleś Bialiatski, in the largest such move by Minsk in years. Yet, for many of those freed, liberty did not mean going home. Instead, most were transferred to Ukraine, highlighting the complex regional and geopolitical dynamics behind the deal. To unpack what this release really means for Belarusian society, the opposition and the wider region, we're joined by Franak Viačorka, Chief Advisor to Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya. Welcome back, sir, to TVP World. Thanks for taking the time.
Good evening.
Good evening. All right, so your initial reactions to this release?
Of course, we all are happy. It's a day of celebration. We worked for 5 years to make this day happen. Our leaders, human rights defenders, are all free, and we met yesterday them in Vilnius, but some of them were brought to Ukraine, and we will meet them hopefully very, very soon. So it's a result of huge team effort of Europeans, Americans, and Belarusian democratic forces.
Okay, so I mean, much has been made of the American input into this. Much less has been made of the European efforts behind it. Let's deal with the American input first. What do you know of that deal, release of prisoners in exchange for relief from sanctions?
Yeah, we work with American administration, with John Cole, who was appointed special envoy in Belarus by President Trump, and the State Department, ready for half a year on releases. And we are in basically weekly, daily touch with them. And yesterday, President Tsikhanouskaya spoke with John Cole. So the idea is that Lukashenko is making step by releasing some people, and Americans are making step softening, not lifting completely, some of the sanctions which are imposed for human rights. And already for 3 waves of releases for last 4 months, more than 150 people got free, which is good. But these American sanctions, they are not so critical for Lukashenko and for Belarus economy as European sanctions. That's why we call on Europe not to be in rush. Not to be jealous. Let Americans, let President Trump to do his job, to release people, to save lives, but to use European sanctions for bigger game, for bigger changes in Belarus, because most of them were imposed not for human rights violation, but for the war. And only when the war will be ended, when repressions will be stopped, we can speak about lifting European sanctions.
So what was behind the release from the Belarusian perspective? Why did he do it?
Lukashenko, dictator, he feels uncertainty. He is not sure what will happen next year. The peace talks are going on. Economy is collapsing, stagnating. Americans discussing sanctions on oil, and Lukashenko's economy will suffer a lot. And he, dictator, he's looking for the way out, for some plan B, and he's trying to establish warm relationship with American administration, hoping that at some point he will not be taken into account. But we must not be fooled here. We must understand that Lukashenko is same criminal as Putin. He is serving Russian interest. He continues repression despite even these releases. So I don't think that this shift, this cooperation with American side, it will change attitude to Lukashenko himself. He's not humane. He doesn't become more humane. He doesn't release these people because he wants to save lives. He just wants to get some benefits from the United States. It's purely transactional, pragmatic count.
Okay, but you say that the benefits in terms of the softening of the sanctions aren't particularly important to him. What are the benefits that are important to him?
I think the contacts and the meetings and these tweets and posts that President Trump is calling Lukashenko highly respected president, this is what Lukashenko loves a lot. When he is not just Putin's puppet, Putin's proxy, but he is an important player. And the Americans are doing amazing diplomatic job in dealing with these humanitarian releases. They are giving Lukashenko this opportunity, this photo opportunity with American representatives, but at the same time they are saving hundreds of lives. I think it's quite fair exchange, but it doesn't mean when European leaders will try to do the same, the effect, the result will be similar. It will be opposite. It's because Trump and President Trump's style, who communicates to everyone and tries to make deals everywhere, he can afford these steps. And I think this momentum, which appeared, we as democratic forces, we must use so much as possible.
Understood. Now, why were so many of the released prisoners sent to Ukraine?
Gosh, it's a good question, because we all planned to meet them in Vilnius yesterday. We had prepared shelters, infrastructures, people waiting for them near American embassy. So that was changed the very last moment. It was Minsk decision. President Zelensky told that Lukashenko didn't want to send prisoners to the European Union, because he has conflict, the migration crisis, the air balloons sent to Lithuania, and probably Lukashenko thought it would be useful to send them to Ukraine and to build some relationship with Ukraine. I'm speculating here, but of course it was not something that was prepared in advance, but Ukrainian leadership and Zelensky and the intelligence department, they did fantastic job. And today our people visited political prisoners. The head of Democratic Forces mission in Kiev, she spoke to former prisoners. They are very happy, they are safe, they are taken care of, and very soon I hope we will bring them to European Union countries.
Understood. So what's the next step? Will they come to Lithuania or elsewhere?
Right now, they are passing standard procedures by Ukrainian authorities. They are kept in secret location for safety reasons, of course. We are trying to make documents, because when they were deported, the regime confiscated their passports. So these prisoners, they are kicked out of the country, and the KGB, the regime, took off their passports. So now we have to find a legal solution how to bring them across the border, what documents to make them to get to Poland, for example, so they can continue living normal life and see their families. Many of them have families in the European Union already.
OK, now you mentioned earlier that many of the people that have been released have been opposition leaders. What does that mean for a rejuvenated opposition to Lukashenko?
It's a huge inspiration. More voices, more people, more speakers, more ideas in the movement. I think it's very good. It's very important. For 5 years, we missed all these people in the movement. In 2020, our strength, when the revolution started, was our diversity. Now we will have all these leaders with different opinions, which is challenge somehow, because I already assume there will be many debates and ideological discussions too. But on the other hand, it will strengthen us for sure. And the people like Maria Kolesnikova, one of the female trio with Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya, she will strengthen Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya. Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya is elected leader. She is president. She was elected by Belarusians as president. So I think she will remain to be this speaker, symbol, representative of the movement. But now we will have the broader team of players, of voices. And I hope very soon, after rehabilitation and some time to get updates for 5 years, these people will come back to the movement and to our work. And Aleś Bialiatski, human rights defenders, Nobel laureate, who was brought to Vilnius, first day he said, today I will have some rest, but tomorrow I am back to work. And I love it so much.
Right. Now, how much support is the opposition getting from other countries?
Oh, it depends. Of course, neighbors, countries like Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, they're the most supportive because they're nearby. They understand that the democratic opposition of Belarus, they can change the situation and Belarus can become a European predictable country. Because under Lukashenko, it will be always threat. But when you go far, when you go to the Western Europe, Southern Europe, or other continents, not many people know what is Belarus, why it's important. Of course, when Russian-Ukrainian war has started, many people looked at the map and they saw that Belarus is the key element of this geopolitical puzzle. So now, of course, there is much more attention than before, but there is also some fatigue from Ukraine, from Belarus, and our task is to bring interest of the foreign countries. And the European Union and separate member states are our biggest allies. They support the media, they support civil society, human rights work, and former political prisoners. And we hope this cooperation with the EU, which is our main partner, will continue and will strengthen.
Right. Now, in the last couple of minutes that we have left, Franak, does this in any way imply that Belarus is willing to come towards more democratic norms if they were given the right incentive, and at the same time to move away from control by Russia?
Here, let's separate Lukashenko, this oldish dictator, and the people. People are ready. People want to live in democracy and freedom within the European Union family. But Lukashenko dictator, he is the Soviet man, Russian man. He doesn't care. He cares only about his power. He is not ready. He will never change. But he is a lame duck. His time is outgoing. He will not stay forever because even people around him are whispering about change. We must not look at Lukashenko. We must look at the people, what people want. And people support Ukraine. People resist the war. People show the extremely brave solidarity acts. And I think these people will achieve their freedom and will achieve European future.
Right. So what is the risk then? Imagine a situation where Lukashenko is no longer in the picture. Putin isn't going to let Belarus go that easily, is he? I mean, he's got Kaliningrad next door. He might do some kind of frozen conflict.
Of course, Putin will be trying. You're right. Putin will be trying to control everyone. He will be trying to keep in fear Ukraine, Moldova, Poland, Baltic states, Armenia, Georgia. This is what Russia, Imperial Russia, was always doing, to keep in stress and fear all the neighborhoods. But we shouldn't look at Russia always. We must do our own job. We have to weaken Putin, to weaken Russia, to help Ukraine, and then Belarus will have its chance. Because people, as I said before, people are ready.
Understood. Mr. Viačorka, as always, a pleasure meeting you, and congratulations on the release of your colleagues. And we wish you every success. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. That brings us to the end of this episode of World Talks. Don't go away. Lots more coming up. Bye-bye.